When you're good at something, never do it for free. The Joker. A chilling sentiment, isn't it? But that's exactly what we're diving into today, the profound, often unnerving wisdom that villains have offered throughout cinematic history. Villains, while often detested, have a peculiar way of captivating our attention. They're the characters we love to hate, and sometimes they're the ones who make us stop and think. They can offer us insights into the human condition, into the darker corners of our own minds. And they do so in a way that often leaves us questioning our own perspectives. Let's start with one of the most iconic villains of all time, the Joker. This character first graced our screens and comic book pages in 1940, quickly becoming a symbol of chaos and anarchy. But beyond his chaotic demeanor, the Joker has provided some of the most profound insights in villainous history. His quote, "When you're good at something, never do it for free," is a stark reminder of the value of our skills and talents. It's a call to recognize our worth and to ensure we're not taken advantage of. Odd, isn't it? How a character so chaotic can offer such practical advice. But that's the beauty of villainy. It's not always about chaos and destruction. Sometimes it's about understanding the darker sides of our personalities. It's about questioning societal norms and exploring the depths of our psyche. And it's about recognizing the value in our individuality, even if it doesn't always align with the societal standard. Villains like the Joker challenge us to think, to question, and to explore. They push us out of our comfort zones and force us to confront the harsh realities of life. And while we may not always agree with their methods, we can't deny the profound impact they have on our understanding of the world. So let's dive deeper into the world of villainy, into the dark corners of our minds, and explore the profound wisdom that these characters have to offer. The Joker, a villain who taught us that one's skills and talents are valuable. In this world, it's kill or be killed. Freddy Krueger. A chilling sentiment, isn't it? But before we dismiss it as the mere ramblings of a fictional horror villain, let's take a moment to delve into the depths of this statement. The 1980s introduced us to Freddy Krueger, the iconic antagonist from Nightmare on Elm Street. This character, with his sinister grin and razor-sharp fingers, has become a symbol of fear and dread. But within his terrifying persona, we find a nugget of wisdom, a philosophy of survival that echoes through the ages. No, we're not suggesting you take up Krueger's homicidal habits. Instead, we're looking at the underlying message of his mantra, the survivalist mentality. Kill or be killed. It's a brutal, primal concept that harks back to our earliest ancestors, where survival was the only goal. Each day was a battle, a struggle to live, to exist. Now let's bring this into our modern context. We're no longer fighting off saber-toothed tigers or hunting for our next meal, but we still face challenges, obstacles that threaten our peace, our happiness, our very existence. It could be a demanding job, a difficult relationship, or a personal goal that seems insurmountable. In these situations, kill or be killed takes on a new meaning. It's not about physical violence, but rather a call to action, a push to overcome, to conquer. To kill is to tackle these challenges head-on, to face our fears and emerge victorious. If we don't, we risk being killed, metaphorically speaking, succumbing to our problems, letting them conquer us instead. So perhaps Freddy Krueger isn't just a villain. Perhaps he's a teacher, a mentor of sorts, reminding us that life isn't always easy. It's tough, it's challenging, and sometimes it's downright scary. But it's through these trials, through this kill or be killed mentality, that we learn, grow, and ultimately survive. Freddy Krueger, a villain who reminds us of the harsh realities of life. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Kaiser Soze. Let's take a journey back to the 90s, the era of grunge, the birth of the internet, and the decade that gifted us with one of the most enigmatic villains in cinematic history, Kaiser Soze from The Usual Suspects. This character, cloaked in mystery and intrigue, personifies the iconic quote we just mentioned. The deceptive nature of this quote is a stark reflection of the cunning and manipulation often found in villainous characters. It's a chilling reminder of how villains, much like the devil in this quote, can hide in plain sight, their malevolent intentions masked by a veil of normalcy. They blend into the crowd, their true nature known only to a few, until it's too late. Kaiser Soze is the embodiment of this concept. A criminal mastermind who operates from the shadows, his existence is questioned by many, even those who work for him. His ability to convince others of his non-existence is his greatest trick, allowing him to manipulate situations to his advantage while remaining undetected. This quote, and the character of Kaiser Soze, provide us with a dark reflection of our own world. It forces us to question what we know, to look beyond the surface, to acknowledge that things aren't always as they seem. It's a chilling reminder of the deceptiveness that can lurk beneath a seemingly benign exterior. But there's more to it than just deception. This quote, in its essence, is a testament to the power of perception and belief. It showcases how one's perception can be manipulated by others, how belief can be shaped, and the devastating consequences that can follow. In conclusion, the character of Kaiser Soze, with his cunning and manipulative nature, serves as a stark reminder of the power of deception. He shows us that villains aren't always the obvious bad guys with sinister looks, but can also be the ones hiding in plain sight, their true nature concealed until the moment of revelation. Kaiser Soze, a villain who shows us the power of deception. Long live the king, Scar. A chilling sentiment, a chilling voice, a chilling villain. Scar, from the animated world of The Lion King, embodies the essence of ambition and the desire for power. His name alone is a symbol, a mark that signifies his battles, his struggles, his craving for control. The world of villains is not one-dimensional. It's a complex web of desires, ambitions, and motivations. And when it comes to power and control, few characters illustrate this better than Scar. He's a character who yearns for power, not for its own sake, but as a means to achieve his ambitions. His quote, "Long live the king," is not merely a proclamation of a new reign, but a declaration of his desire to seize control. It's an echo of the ambition that fuels many villains, the driving force that pushes them beyond the boundaries of morality and ethics. Power and control are intoxicating, seductive. They offer the illusion of being invincible, of being able to shape the world according to one's desires. But, as we see with Scar, they also have a destructive side. Power can corrupt, control can become tyranny, and ambition can blind one to the consequences of their actions. The thirst for power, the hunger for control, these are not solely the domain of villains. They are human traits, human desires. We all have ambitions, we all seek control over our lives. But it's how we choose to pursue these desires that defines us, that determines whether we tread the path of heroism or villainy. So what can we learn from Scar, a villain who is driven by ambition and the thirst for power? Perhaps it's a cautionary tale, a warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the destructive potential of power. It's a reminder to balance our desires with empathy, to temper our ambitions with respect for others. Scar, a villain who teaches us about ambition and the thirst for power. He is a symbol, a reminder, a lesson. He is a villain, yet his story is intrinsically human. And that is the power and control of storytelling. I am inevitable. Thanos. A chilling declaration from one of the most formidable villains in modern cinematic history. This statement encapsulates the complexity and depth of villainy that we've been exploring. Thanos, a titan from the cosmos, doesn't just serve as an antagonist in Avengers: Infinity War. He embodies a philosophical perspective that's both daunting and intriguing. His belief in inevitability isn't just about his confidence in his own power, it's a reflection of his acceptance of fate. He sees his actions not as choices but as necessities, predestined outcomes in the grand scheme of the universe. This acceptance of fate is not unique to Thanos. It's a common thread that weaves through the tapestry of villainy. Villains often see themselves as agents of destiny, carrying out what they believe is an inevitable course of events. This perspective adds layers to their characters, making them more than just the bad guys. They become tragic figures, bound by a fate they can't escape. In a way, this acceptance of fate is a mirror to our own lives. We all face inevitabilities, the passage of time, the certainty of change, the reality of death. These are universal truths we can't avoid. And in navigating these truths, we find ourselves grappling with the same philosophical questions that villains like Thanos wrestle with. But the complexity of villainy doesn't end with acceptance of fate. Modern villains are more than just embodiments of evil. They are characters with motivations, with histories, with depth. They challenge us not just with their power, but with their perspectives. They force us to confront our own beliefs, our own values, our own understanding of the world. So, let's appreciate the complexity of these characters. Let's delve deeper into their motivations, their philosophies, their inevitable fates. Because in understanding the complexity of villainy, we come to understand more about ourselves and the world around us. Thanos, a villain who challenges our understanding of fate and inevitability.